Hello and welcome learners. Today we explore the topic Raja Ram Mohan Roy as a journalist. I am Manish Upadhyay, Assistant Professor, Department of Journalism and Mass Communication, Mangalayatan University. First of all, thank you for all of you for watching my videos regularly. So now we start this video lecture. Learners, Raja Raman Roy, often referred to as the father of the Indian Renaissance, was a prominent Indian social reformer and intellectual who played a crucial role in shaping modern India. While he is widely recognized for his efforts in social and religious reforms, he also made significant contributions to journalism in India. In the early 19th century, Raja Raman Roy realized the importance of media and its potential as a catalyst for social change and enlightenment. He believed that the dissemination of knowledge and ideas through the press could play a vital role in transforming Indian society. Objectives of this topic: number one is advocacy for social and religious reforms. Raja Raman Roy was a visionary leader in 19th century India, passionately advocated for social and religious reforms that would shape the course of the nation's history. His advocacy can be summarized in these lines: as Raja Raman Roy staunchly opposed regressive social practices like sati, advocating for its abolition to protect women's right and dignity. He championed the idea of monotheism and rationality, seeking to counter the principles and superstitions prevalent in Hinduism. Roy emphasized the importance of education, advocating for the promotion of modern scientific knowledge and Western learning in India. He founded the Brahma Samaj in, uh, in India, which aimed to blend the best aspects of Hinduism with rational thought and ethical values. You can say Roy believed in the equality of all humans, irrespective of their caste or religious background, striving to eradicate caste based discrimination. His efforts led to the banning of the practice of sati by the British East India Company in 1929, marking a significant stride towards a social reform. Raja Raman Roy argued for the separation of religion and politics and administration, advocating for a secular state. He challenged orthodox interpretations of religious scriptures and encouraging a moral, rational, and ethical understanding of religious teachings. Roy's advocacy laid the groundwork of future social reform movements, inspiring leaders like Ishwachand Vidyasagar and Jyoti Rao Phule. His legacy continues to inspire those who strive for social justice, religious harmony, and intellectual enlightenment in modern India. Raja Raman Roy's tireless advocacy for social and religious reforms remains an enduring beacon of enlightenment and progress in India's history. Next one is freedom of the press. Raja Raman Roy, a pioneer of modern Indian thought, championed the freedom of the press during the 19th century. He believed that a press was crucial for spreading knowledge, promoting rationality, and holding those in power accountable. His efforts His efforts in advocating for a free press laid the foundation for the importance of media independence in a democratic society. Roy's vision emphasized the press as a tool to foster social reform and enlightenment, contributing to the growth of a more informed and engaged citizenry. Next is spreading enlightenment values. In this point, Raja Ramon Roy, a visionary 19th century Indian reformer, championed enlightenment values in his pursuits. He ardently advocated for rationality, religious tolerance, and social equality. Through his efforts, he sought to abolish regressive practices like sati and promote education, empowering individuals with knowledge and critical thinking. Raja Raman Roy's legacy stands as a testament to the enduring impact of spreading Enlightenment ideals in shaping modern India. Bridge building between cultures. Raja Raman Roy, reformer of 19th century in India, adeptly built a cultural bridge by advocating for the convergence of traditional Indian values with the rational Western ideals. He championed social reform, women's rights, and education, aligning the best aspects of both cultures to foster harmony. Through his efforts, he demonstrated that culture exchange can pave the way for societal progress and mutual understanding, leaving an enduring legacy of unity and enlightenment. Now we are talking about something about his family and education and born. Raja Raman Roy, visionary social reformer, was born on May 22, 1772 in Radhanagar, Bengal Presidency, which is now located in West Bengal, India. He hailed from a Brahmin family that had a prominent position in the society. Ramon Roy's upbringing was influenced by his family's commitment to both traditional Hindu teachings and modern education. He received a multifaceted education that encompassed Sanskrit literature, Persian, Arabic, as well as Western languages and philosophies. This diverse education played a pivotal role in shaping his worldview and his eventual contribution to Indian society. Raja Ramoy Roy's family supported his inquisitive nature and encouraged him to critically engage with various religious and philosophical ideas. This laid the foundation for his later endeavors as a social reformer. His deep concern about the socio religious issues plaguing Indian society, particularly the prevalent practices of sati, that is called widow immolation, and other regressive customs, drove him to initiate significant reforms. He believed in rationality, scientific thinking, and the need for social progress. Ram Mohan Roy was instrumental in founding the Brahma Samaj in 1928, which aimed to promote monism, rationalism, and social reform based on Hindu principles. Raja Raman Roy was sent to represent England in 1831 by Mughal Emperor and was given the title Raja. He welcomed the opening of English teaching in India, which was essential to encourage civilization and scientific knowledge. He struggled to remove restrictions on the press and believed in the freedom of the press. He took up the complex and forbearing job of publishing the Upanishads and Vedas. He condemned image worship and believed in the power of the God. His intellectual ability and eloquence led him to write extensively on subjects like theology, philosophy, and social issues. He emphasized the importance of reason and criticized blind faith, advocating for a harmonious blend of scientific knowledge and spiritual wisdom. Raman Roy's contributions extended beyond religious reform. He played a significant role in advocating for the abolition of sati, leading to the passage of the Bengal sati regulation in 1829 by the British authorities. His efforts also laid the groundwork for later social and educational reforms in India. Raja Ram Mohan Roy's birth into a Brahmin family, his diverse education, and his commitment to rationality and social progress shaped him into a pioneer social reformer. His tireless efforts in addressing regressive practices and promoting rational thought continue to inspire generations and have left in an inedible mark on India's history. His work for society. Roy, who regarded education as an effective vehicle to achieve social reform, was a strong advocate of introducing Western learning in India. He was instrumental in setting up several institutions, including the Hindu College in Calcutta in 1817 in collaboration with David Harry, the Anglo Hindu School in 1822, and the Vedanta College, a synthesis of Western and Indian learning in 1826. He also helped establish the Scottish Church College in 1830. Vedanta Granth is a collection of Raja Raman Roy's writings on Vedanta philosophy, where he explored the essence of Hindu scriptures and their rational interpretation. Vedanta Sar, the abridgment of the Vedant of resolution of all the Vedas. Vedansar is his uh, condensed exposition of Vedanta emphasizing monotheism and moral principles aimed at reviving and reforming Hindu thought during the 19th century Indian Renaissance. These works showcase Raja Ramon Roy's efforts to bridge traditional wisdom with modern rationality. The Precepts of Jesus, Guide to Peace and Happiness. Raja Ramon Roy extolled Jesus' precepts for lasting serenity and joy, fostering peace through compassionate teachings. His work emphasized spiritual guidance for harmony and contentment. Tuafat ul Muwahideen, a gift of Montheist. Tuafat ul Muwahideen is a Persian work authored by Raja Ramon Roy in the 19th century. It emphasizes the oneness of God and the principles of monotheism, advocating for a rational and reasoned approach to religious understanding and harmony. The text played a significant role in Raja Ramon Roy's effort to promote religious and social reforms in India. In Tuafat, he pointed out the universal unity of thought among mankind regarding existence of one. Raja Ramon Roy rejected supernatural acts or miracles. He came out in the harshest words against the idol worship. We are talking about his newspapers and publications. Number one is Sambad Kaumudi. Raja Raman Roy was associated with various publications during his lifetime, such as the Sambad Kaumudi and the Miratul Akhbar. Sambad Kaumudi, also known as Sambad Kaumudi Patrika, was a Bengali language newspaper founded by Raja Raman Roy in 1821. It was one of the first newspapers in India and played a crucial role in disseminating ideas of social and political reform. During the early 19th century, Raja Raman Roy, a prominent social reformer and intellectual, used Sambad Comedy as a platform to advocate for various causes. The newspaper addressed social issues such as the abolition of sati, that is the practice of widow burning, and female infanticide, and the promotion of women's education. It also discussed religious and political matters, emphasizing the need for religious tolerance and the modernization of Indian society. Sambat Comedy was published in both Bengali and English, with the Bengali edition before being more popular and influential, and it played a significant role in awakening public consciousness and creating awareness about social issues that were prevalent during that time. The newspaper faced opposition from conservative elements in society, but it continued to be published until Raja Raman Roy's death in 1833. Sambat comedy left a lasting impact on the Indian media landscape, inspiring future generations of journalists and social reformers. Overall, we can say that Sambat Comedy, the journal founded by Raja Raman Roy, played an important role in promoting social reform, advocating for women's rights and education, and fostering progressive ideas in 19th century in India. Next one is Miratul Akhbar. In 1822, Raja Raman Roy founded a newspaper called Miratul Akhbar, the mirror of the age. It is the meaning of this paper. In it is published in Kolkata, then in present in Kolkata, then known as Calcutta, which became one of the first English language newspapers in India. The newspaper served as a platform of expressing his views on various issues, including social, religious, and political matters. Through Miratul Akhbar, Roy aimed to promote progressive ideas, challenges orthodox practices, and foster a sense of rationality and critical thinking among the Indian populace. Now we are talking about the freedom of press in details. In this, we will explore the role of Raja Raman Roy in the freedom of the press in India. During the early 19th century, India was under British colonial rule, and the press was subject to strict censorship laws that limited the expression of free speech and the dissemination of information. In this context, Raja Raman Roy was a vocal advocate for the freedom of the press and worked tirelessly to promote this cause. One of Raja Raman Roy's key contribution was the founding of the newspaper, the Miratul Akhbar in 1822. This newspaper was published in Urdu and Persian and was one of the earliest newspapers to be published in India. The Miratul Akhbar was known for his critical coverage of the British colonial administration and was a platform for Raja Raman Roy to express his views on issues related to social, religious, and political reform. Raja Raman Roy also played a crucial role in challenging the press censorship laws that were in place at that time. He argued that the press was an essential tool for promoting free speech and that any restrictions on the press would be a violation of the fundamental right to freedom of expression. He believed that the press had a crucial role to play in raising public awareness about social and political issues and in promoting a democratic society. One of Raja Raman Roy's most significant contribution to the freedom of press was his role in the landmark case of R.B. Buckinghamshire. In this case, the British authorities had confiscated on and issues of the Bombay Courier newspaper that contained critical coverage of the colonial administration. Raja Raman Roy, along with the other social reformers, launched a legal challenge to the confiscation of the newspaper, arguing that it was a violation of the fundamental right to freedom of the press. The case went all the way to the Privy Council in London, where Raja Ram Mohan Roy made a passionate argument for the freedom of the press. He argued that the press had an essential role to play in promoting democracy and that any restrictions on the press would be a threat to the liberty of the people. Ultimately, the Privy Council ruled in favor of Raja Raman Roy and the other petitioners, setting an important precedent for press freedom in India. In concluding uh, paragraph, we can say that the Raja Raman Roy played a crucial role in advocating for the freedom of the press in India during the 19th century. Through his work as a journalist, social reformer, and legal advocate, he helped to promote the cause of free speech and democratic values. His contributions to the cause of press freedom have had a lasting impact on Indian society, and his legacy continues to inspire generations of activists and reformers. Now we are talking about the social bodies founded by Raja Raman Roy. Atmiya Sabha. Atmiya Sabha, in this body, Raja Raman Roy was the chief architect of the social reformation movement in India. He formed the Atmiya Sabha along with his friends in 1815 in Calcutta. It was a forum for discussion of various religious and social matters. He started opposing the sati system in Hindus. Atmiya Sabha's program offered something to both the Hindu heart and intellect. The passage from Hindu scriptures were read and explained. Hymns composed by Raja Ramon Roy and other members of the group were recited. And next social body is Brahma Sabha. Brahma Sabha means the Society of Brahma in Sanskrit. It is also as a Brahmo and spelled Brahma, an aesthetic activity founded in Hinduism at Calcutta by Raja Raman Roy in 1828. The Brahma Sabha does not accept the control of the avatars, the Vedas, and does not believe in the samsara or karma. They adopted the practice of Christianity and condemn polytheism, image worship. Principles of Brahma Sabha are the Samaj, the Brahma Samaj, condemned polytheism and image worship. It toast belief in holy avatars. It declined any scripture that would release the ultimate authority's position of transcending human reason and conscience. It denounced the caste system. It carried no actual perspectives on the doctrine of karma to clarify Hinduism and lecture on monotheism. Raja Ramon Roy visited to Europe. The main objective of this visit, he put before the authorities the case of ex-emperor of Delhi who had made Raja his representation. And second objective was to baffle his advisories who were trying to get Bantek's Sati Act repealed. Raja Raman Roy, known for his reforms, Sati Pratha. So now we are talking about some words about Sati Pratha. Raja Raman Roy, a prominent Indian farmer, vigorously opposed the practice of Sati. In the early 19th century, he campaigned against this cruel tradition of widows' self-immolation, arguing for its abolition on grounds of human rights and rationality. His efforts culminated in the banning of sati by the British administration in 1829, uh, an important step towards societal progress and women's rights in India. Abolition of sati. Sati was the practice of immolation of a Hindu woman on the death of her husband in his funeral pyre. Although this practice does not have any Vedic sanction, it had become prevalent in some parts of India. The widow was supposed to ascend to heaven, and this was considered the ultimate sacrifice and proof of the woman's devotion to her husband. And many cases of sati were voluntary, whereas some were forced. Raja Raman Roy, the great Hindu reformer from Bengal, fought many societal evils prevalent in the Hindu society of Bengal, and sati pratha was one of the chief ones. He had witnessed the live immolation of his own sister in law. He started his struggle against this practice in 1812. William Carey, an English missionary, also fought against this barbaric practice. Sati Pratha, in the next point, we can say in the year 1870 alone, but about 700 widows were burnt alive. Even though the British initially allowed it, it was first banned in 1798 in Calcutta. However, the custom continued in the surroundings area. Raja Raman Roy was a vociferous campaigner against sati. He argued that the Vedas and other ancient Hindu scripture did not sanction sati. He wrote articles in his journal Samvad Comedy advocating its prohibition. He stressed with the East India Company administration to ban this practice. Lord William Banting became the Governor General of India in 1828. He helped Raja Raman Roy to suppress many prevalent social evils like sati, polygamy, child marriage, and female infanticide. Lord Banting passed the law banning sati throughout the company's jurisdiction in British India. The act was made illegal and punishable by the courts. Sati regulation uh, in 1829 of the Bengal Code. In essence, Raja Raman Roy journalism played a pivotal role in shaping the course of Indian history. His dedication to truth, rationality, and social betterment left an indelible mark on the nation's consciousness. His legacy continues to inspire journalists and activists to use the power of the written word for positive change, emphasizing the importance of free expression and progressive thought in creating a just and harmonious society. In the end of the video, we can say that Raja Raman Roy's contribution as a journalist were truly remarkable and impactful. Through his writings, he championed the causes of social reform, religious tolerance, and educational upliftment. His dedication to spreading awareness about important issues paved the way for significant changes in society. By founding newspapers like Miratul Akhbar and Sambad Comedy, he provided a platform for progressive ideas and critical discussions. Raja Raman Roy's journalistic endeavors were not about only about reporting news but also about advocating for justice and equality. His writings ignited debates on subjects such as women's rights, widow remarriages, and the abolition of sati. His language was simple yet powerful, making this message accessible to a wide audience. Through his journalistic work, he challenged orthodox beliefs and pushed for a more enlightened and exclusive society. So learners, this is the end of the video lecture. See you in next lecture. Goodbye. Have a nice day.